Remember, Bhatwari is probably the last point till which the road is actually surviving. So all the cars, all the equipment of the NDRF and SDRF has been able to reach only up till there. Ashutosh, you've been trying to find ways and routes to reach the location, but I know because we are also stuck, it is almost impossible with small landslides almost everywhere in every part of the state. Can you tell us what the situation on the ground is, and have you been able to reach anywhere close to the ground zero?
Well, the good news at the moment I can share is that Bhatwari, the stretch that was eventually the road was caved in for more than 150 meters. Somehow taking alternative routes through peak of these mountains, I've crossed over. Now I'm in Bhatwari on the other side. In fact, right behind you see, these are the personals who are supposed to go for the rescue ops, search operations. Not only the manpower, but also the machineries, technology, that everything that is required. Because you see the number of people, those who are probably in the debris, evacuation, search ops, everything that required, that also required not only the manpower, not only boots on the ground, but also the machinery, the technology that the NDRF and other personals have. Now, after Bhatwari, as I've been saying, that there is not only one point of the landslide, but there are multiple. Now, let me also show you these images of the furious Bhagirathi, and that's exactly has clearly washed away. In fact, footprints of the devastation is quite visible here, though we are hardly 35 kilometers. That's 1 hour journey from Dharali, the epicenter of this calamity. The footprints are quite, explaining itself the scale of devastation, the scale of disaster that it had carried out here with Bhagirathi. Along with that, we are only seeing the NDRF vehicles, the SDRF vehicles, the police personnel who all are en route to Dharali for the rescue ops. But I say the adversary at the moment is the weather, bringing huge challenges, because now you cannot have a sorties to fly to that areas when we have a standby Chinook, we have a Mi-17, and also for the Recce Cheetah. In fact, at certain longitude, latitude, we have fixed out certain places where they can even land their choppers. Those arrangements by the army has been made. But clearly the weather is now literally hostile for our rescuers. So these multiple personals waiting for their sniffer dog squads, they are also here. The SDRF personals are also here. We all are en route towards exactly the epicenter of the calamity. So it can only be started. Look at these personals. So they all are on standby with their machineries, totally equipped, and that's their expertise. However, unless you have these roads open, now I'm taking you exactly to the area which has been blocked because of the massive landslide. And not only the landslide, in fact, part of the highway was totally washed away. So now there is an alternative road being made out by using earth-moving machinery, the JCBs, by the GREF and the BRO. So entire administration at different pockets are now actively working to ensure smooth passage for our rescuers, the machineries, transportation. So as and when they reach, perhaps they will be able to expedite the process of search operation, rescue operations, because only the number of 100 people, man on the ground, without much machineries, that will make it extremely difficult, particularly when you have a race against time. You never know how many number of the people who could be possibly stuck at certain areas in pocket congested where people have not been even able to reach out. So when you have a race against time, these are the efforts being done here. Now I have reached literally in a very close proximity of this area where we see the operations to make an alternative road is being done, because unless you have the alternative road, look at this. So exactly in Bhatwari, at the last point when you saw me, so entire road was washed away. Somehow they have been successfully able to prepare an alternative arrangements. Now this road has been prepared. This area, only relief is, the respite is that there is no rainfall at the moment. Exactly at this particular part. Now the alternative road is being prepared by the earth moving machine, by the JCBs. So as and when it is done, all these machineries right behind, let me ask Deepak to turn the camera 180 degree. All these machineries, vehicles that are lined up here, along with the rescuers, along with the machinery that is required for the rescue and search operations, all will depart immediately. So it could be matter of 30 minutes, it could be matter of an hour, but that's what the priority at the moment is, to expedite this process, to prepare an alternative route and ensure a speedy movement of these rescuers to the epicenter of the calamity. Anjali.
Absolutely, Ashutosh. Creation of an alternative route will be a huge achievement for the rescue teams. But this road, that you are on is also connecting to Gangotri, and there is a possibility that there might be tourists over there who might be stranded. So, is there any way to reach them? What are you hearing about them? What about their rescue?
See, the assessment can only be done once you have the first team of the responders reaching there. Now, we see the massive blockade out here. The first team who were there exactly started evacuation and rescue operations, ensuring people in the low-lying areas living exactly along the Bhagirathi. Now, look at this. This is really scary. The very furious Bhagirathi. And why it was needed to evacuate people, I can see the huge tree branches that have come all the way from Harshil in different parts. That's flow of the river. It itself looks scary. Now, once you have the access to that area, now remember there have been the top area, Kesu top, that there is also multiple landslides, and all these landslides, there are reportedly that now the lake formation is going to, because the river is not flowing exactly with its speed. Now there is a lake formation, and if there is a lake formation, they'll have to see whether the water level is rising or even breaching the danger mark, and it is coming on the road. Because if there is a flow and there is a lake formation, eventually that will also be further thread and could potentially wash away the road connectivity as well. So once the first team of the responders, as the road is being now done, see, let me take you. These are the roads that were totally washed away. Now the another alternative route has almost been prepared. The structure there where exactly I'm walking in were literally, you know, it was a threat for any individual or vehicle to pass through. Now they have just made alternative route, cutting the mountains from the side and preparing at least 12 to 13 feet of the road for the access of the vehicles and the vehicular movement. Now, once the first responders reach there, they will analyze the situation.
Thank you, Ashutosh. Thank you very much for bringing us the ground details.